how many times when you're around the green do you try and loft the ball up really high when you've got all this green to run the ball into? Now, I think a lot of people that are watching this will kind of resonate with that and realise that they actually do loft the ball up too much. So today we're going to look at a shot that is really overlooked for a lot of players at all different levels. And we're going to talk about the chip and run shot, when to use it, how to use it, and our club selection. So I've now changed from my 58-degree wedge to my 8-iron. Now, my reasons for this is, one, I've got a lot of green to work into. And my kind of chipping rules that I use around the green is, where's my landing spot? I'll either use the first available flat spot or try and pitch this ball 2 to 3 yards on every single time. So I've kind of got the same variables in terms of what I'm working to. So I've got clarity in terms of club selection, but also I've got a really clear image of where I want to pitch that shot. So if we look at it here, the area in which I try to be pitching this golf shot here is roughly around this area, and hopefully trying to get it rolling out as soon as possible like a putt. A lot of people, like you saw me in demonstrating that first one, will try and land this ball next to the hole and then we'll try and let it run out from there. So let's kind of use an analogy here. So if you were going to throw a ball and wanted to get it as close there as possible, would you feel like you could throw it closer by rolling, getting it landing in front of you and rolling out? Because we could pitch it on that spot just in front of us, I think, more frequently. Or that spot that's near the hole, do you reckon you could land it on that same spot every time? Well, I know certainly that this closer one, if I was rolling the ball, I could land it on that same spot every single time. Whereas if that same spot was 10 yards away, it would be very, very hard. And this is the same with the golf shot. If we can try and picture the same landing zone that's closer to us, the shot becomes a lot easier. It's rolling out like a putt, and actually we'll probably have more chance of holing it. So let's talk about how we're going to stand to this chip and run shot to hopefully make sure we play it with the correct speed, correct strike, and also the correct overall result. Right, so we've got our 8-iron. What I want to do is I want to talk about firstly the width of stance. So we're going to start with a width of stance that's just going to be just wide of a club head width apart. From there, we're going to make sure our ball position is just slightly to the right of our zip line, okay? So slightly towards the back of our trail foot, okay? So we're going to feel the ball position slightly towards our trail foot. Then we're going to shuffle in. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to feel that if we were stood to an 8-iron normally, we'd have a kind of a shaft position that would look like this. At address now, I want you to shuffle closer, and I want you to steepen this shaft position at address. From there, let's take a hold in the middle of the golf club, so I've got equal amount of the grip at the top and at the bottom. And then from now, all I want you to do is just feel as though you've got that weight on that left side. So 70-30% of that weight on that left side. And that's really going to help us really create the same strike every single time, even often that's a lie that's not particularly good like this one here. Whereas if I was trying to do that and try and loft it up into the air, my margin for error is certainly a lot bigger. So let's do that again. We're going to go straight in. We're going to feel a width of stance club width apart. Ball position towards the back of our stance. Weight on the lead side and feel like the shaft's a little bit steeper. Grip in the middle. And from here now we've got a really good setup that's really going to help us predetermine a good impact position. But there's one thing that we're missing there. Last thing I really like you to feel is that to help us get these hands ahead of the ball and get a really nice strike consistently, I like to just feel like we're going to pull that left foot back slightly. But key point here, let's feel like these shoulders are still parallel to our ball to target line here. So our ball to target line, shoulders parallel, but that left foot slightly retracted, okay? So now I've got the perfect setup to really help me feel like I can move this golf club correctly in a nice kind of quiet motion that's going to help me pitch this ball around here. So now we've got the setup. We've got width of stance, ball position, where the shaft wants to be at address, where the weight wants to feel, and how we're going to hold that golf club. So the feeling I want you to have now in the chip shot is I want you to feel that this triangle you create between your two hands, shoulders, stays the same distance apart every time. What I mean by that is we don't change the distance. So you can see here, if I lift my arms and change my arms and chicken wing either side, the distance between my hands and my shoulders changes. So I want you to feel like on these short chip shots, that distance stays exactly the same, okay? So we keep the same width of arc, the same width from our hands and our shoulders, and that really helps us really guarantee that strike, and also helps us guarantee a strike but with the right club head speed. If we change this and this club head speed is constantly changing, then our distance control will become very, very hard. But remember, we're only trying to pitch this shot 2 to 3 yards on. So let's hit this shot now. I'm going to place it into here. Feet, club head width apart. Weight, shaft position, hand position. Let's hit this shot. Really nice shot there. Closer than the first one. But you can see here how pitching this ball here, letting it roll out like a putt, was far easier and less of a high tariff shot than if I was going to high lob it towards that flag. So before we finish this video, let's talk about that technique and feeling we're going to have through the golf shot. So we said at the start of the video, at the start of this chip and run technique, we want to keep the same distance between our hands and shoulders throughout. And for me here, this training aid here really helps you do that. So if I change the distance, you can really see here with these yellow lines on me that I'm changing the distance, picking this club up. Whereas if I'm keeping the same distance between my hands and shoulders, you can see there, that's all staying the same. And this gravity fit really helps us do that. So let me hit this one again. Got my stance club head width apart, ball position towards the back of my stance, taking my grip in the middle, shaft a little bit steeper at address, weight on the lead side, and the final point, retract that left foot. Let's hit this one down towards this flag. You can see there, hands stay the same distance apart from my shoulders and really kept that feeling of that triangle working back and through. Almost, I don't want to say a pendulum motion, but very, very close to being what would a pendulum motion would look like. So guys, thank you for watching today's video on Alex Elliott Golf. Make sure you're choosing the right shot around the green. Stop lofting it up and get really good at this chip and run shot. I think a lot of people could play this shot better and really take advantage of this shot around the green to hopefully see some better results in their overall golf game. Thank you for watching and see you next time on Alex Elliott Golf.